The Leander class frigates that began to be built in the 1960s were the most numerous class of British escort through the 1970s and the 1980s. Four of the class saw action in the Falklands War, along with two older Type 12 frigates from which the Leander class were developed. At the end of this video, we'll look at the process for converting this kit into a Type 12 frigate, but let's start by building it as a Leander class. Here you can see the lack of detail on the superstructure provided. The first step is to map and then add detail to the superstructure. Since we're going to build this model as a gunned Leander, we're going to replace the original turret with the much superior MicroMaster 3D printed version. Airfix do give you the option of building this kit as an Exocet armed Leander using the parts shown below. However, they are pretty basic, so they will require additional detailing. The original prop arrangement is pretty bizarre as they come out on an angle from the center skeg. They should come out of the hull parallel in line as shown below. The Leander class configuration varied widely over their lives. As this model will represent a New Zealand ship, some of the details shown here will not apply to other vessels. The deck openings aft are plated over. Overhanging deck extensions either side of the helicopter hangar support triple anti-submarine torpedo tubes. The Seacat launcher was corrected and detailed. Both the Seacat and gun directors were replaced by better items sourced from a 1600 HMS Tiger kit. The bridge roof overhang was reduced. Life raft supporting ledges were fitted, and the watch position shield was replaced by thin plastic card. .20mm guns were fitted either side of the bridge, and individual life rafts were created. The Type 965 radar antenna was replaced with a photo etch version. Rolled up boarding nets and stowed gangways were fitted on the deck either side of the superstructure. Fitting photo etch deck railing was followed by final painting, gluing the superstructure in place, and then fitting the boat davits last. There is a little Wasp helicopter with this model that I haven't got round to assembling. I know there is one, a real one, in a museum near me, so I've got to go for a trip there and just make sure that all the details of the plastic parts are right before I finish it. So that completes the build of a fairly standard Leander. Let's now look at the process involved in converting the kit into a Type 12 frigate. The Leander and Type 12 hulls are basically the same, but a quarterdeck and an extended limbo well need to be added. We've used a MicroMaster replacement turret for this build also. The superstructure features a full width section behind the turret, and the Type 12 frigate had two limbo mortars in its aft well. I replaced the props with scratch-built 5-bladed ones. I've replaced the superstructure with scratch-built items, but there are 3D parts for some of the superstructure available. The white ensign model's post-World War II photo etch set includes lattice masks that can be adapted for this build. I was able to produce the 3 mast sections required quite accurately from that set. So this shows one of the conversions you can do with the Leander kit. Some of the other projects you might like to think about include the Royal Navy, South African and Australian Type 12s, and Dutch and Chilean Leander class. There are also a few Ikara Leander conversions, and there is a 3D printed Ikara deckhouse available for that purpose. If you want to see more 1600 builds, don't forget to check out the rest of the videos on my channel.